I would love for you to just share, you talk about utilizing pleasure as an opportunity to manifest what you want to create. I'd love for you to break down, what are you talking about? Right. I'm coming from I understand because I've also been in the parameters of these incredible, what we call sex switches. However, for those that are listening and tuning in, they've got this on their headphones and they're on a walk with the dog. And if you're on a walk with your dog with the headphones on, this one is for you. What is this? What is the ability to utilize our sexual sensual energy to direct it into a position that is placed with our attention and intention?
Yeah. So I've been teaching manifesting for a long time, right? Like that's Ziva. It's mindfulness, meditation, and manifesting. And there are some key ingredients in order to be an effective manifester. You have to have a clear intention. You have to have a burning desire. You want to take inspired action, detachment. Like these are all the key ingredients. So when you start to add pleasure to that equation, you're basically supercharging the manifestation that's already in place. So to be very honest, manifesting is an advanced technique. At Ziva, I have people learn to meditate first, to tap into the unmanifest first, to remind themselves that they are actually God pretending to be human first, to flood their brains and bodies with dopamine and serotonin so that they have access to that visceral reality that their bliss is only ever found inside. We do all of that first. Because if you're trying to manifest from a place of lack or need or less than, then we get into the all be happy when syndrome and we start to have a death grip on our desires and we think that those desires will make us happy. And that is a recipe for not manifesting. It's a recipe for frustration. And so if from prayer or art or however it is that you remind yourself that you are the ocean inside of the wave, from that place, we simply ask the question, like, what would I love? What would I love? And then we listen. We listen, what would I love? Not what do I need? What do I want? Not what's going to look good on Instagram, but like, what would my soul love? And then there might be something standing in the way of that, some disbelief, something, just a funk. And then we want to clear the channel, right? So that might look like a rage journal or punching a pillow or doing an angry dance like we just did or having a good cry, like anything to just open up the vessel, clear the channel. Reclaiming your pleasure. For so many, they've been shamed to think that it's not theirs, that it's wrong or dirty or bad. So some sort of a reclamation practice, which might be dancing in front of a mirror. And then from that space of sort of clarity on the dream, a clear channel, then we start to build the charge, which you don't have to do this with sexual pleasure, right? Like you could do it with breath, you could do it with dance. You could do it simply by massaging your hands if you like. It's just easier, honestly, if you are pleasuring yourself because it's such a direct access to so much, like so many powerful internal chemicals. Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins, norepinephrine, which again are all of the chemicals that we need to train our body that our dream is safe. So many of us are scared of our dreams. And so when the opportunity comes, which it will, because you wouldn't even have the desire if it was not already on the way, right? The desires are divinely manifested. So the desire is actually just the breeze that precedes the train in the subway tunnel, right? And so what we do when we embody the manifestation, it's like we're readying ourselves for the opportunity that's already on the way so that you get to feel, to like make love to your dream so that when it shows up, you feel deserving, you feel ready, and that you start to vibrate at the same frequency of the dream. Because so many of us, when we're manifesting something big, there's a piece of it that still feels unworthy. And when you get out of, and that happens in the mind, right? That fear, that unworthiness that happens in the mind. So these are really embodied manifesting tools. So it's like we're bringing that desire into the body and swirling it. So I talk in terms of, I'm trying to make this language really accessible for folks. So what I'm calling this is pleasure prayer. Just simply using your pleasure to pray as we build the charge in our hoo-ha, which again is like a really simple term that is all genders, male, female, trans, cis, all genders. And it includes the anatomy and the energy center. So we start to build that charge in the hoo-ha. We let it build all the way up into the heart and then all the way up into the head. And the moment of peak pleasure, it's like you're dedicating that energy to your vision, to the thing that you want to create. And that's a really foreign idea for a lot of people too, that you could actually dedicate your pleasure to something because we're in this like sort of masculine zero sum, like goal-oriented, well, let me just like get off and be done,
Mhm.
right? Or it's just stress release, or it's like I think Regina calls this, and I am sorry, but she calls it a crotch sneeze. Which you could never unhear that term. But this is a very different practice, right? This could take 20 minutes, an hour, and it's really about simply building the pleasure and the charge in your body and dedicating it to your dream. Now, the cool thing is that every single time we orgasm, we don't make a baby, right? Because if we did, it would be very crowded on Earth. And so, like, thank goodness that doesn't happen every single time. And yet we have that level of creative power available to us in that orgasmic state. And so it's like, where are we directing that? The veil is thin. And when I ask people how they feel after they orgasm, it's usually peaceful, blissful, connected, pure, beyond myself, melted, joyous. And that is a really powerful place to manifest from. Much more powerful than like you're driving to work, picking up your kids, going to get milk, gotta get dog food before your vacation. Like to manifest from that stressy fear place, there's no fertile soil for the seeds to take root.